What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be shoutcasting some battles submitted to the channel by the recent winner of the Ultra League Battle of Spice competition, Justice for Xerneas, who brought an insanely spicy team consisting of Avalugg, Toucannon and Sceptile. Now, winning with Spice is already very impressive, but this trainer is able to take down some super strong meta teams which, quite frankly, they had no business in beating, so I know you guys are absolutely going to love this video. But before we get into the battles, let's start with the question of the day. What's the most underrated tanky Pokemon in the Go Battle League? This can be for any of the three main leagues, so Great, Ultra or Master League. Tanky Pokemon, in other words a bulky Pokemon, high stat product Pokemon, high defense, high HP, low attack. Let me know in the comment section below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle here, we're going to be leading into a defense form Deoxys. Now, our entire team is kind of going to struggle against this Pokemon. I mean, it's not like super dominant matchups, but Avalugg's going to be taking super effective damage from the counters. This Toucannon is going to take super effective damage from Rock Slides or Thunderbolts, whatever they're running, and now they're going to swap after getting a shield advantage into a Sylveon, and Sylveon is absolutely going to chunk through this Toucannon with the charm damage. These charms look like they're dealing super effective damage because Toucannon is a super glassy Pokemon. We actually get a shield with that second Drill Peck there, which is really nice because that wouldn't have taken out the Sylveon, so we do at least get some kind of advantage in that matchup. We're going to come in with the Avalugg here. We're doing massive damage with the Ice Fangs, but we're going to have to shield the second move here from the Sylveon, but it looks like we will commit to the Ice Fang farm down, and we do have a ton of energy loaded. We're going to go for a Crunch here up against this defense form Deoxys, and Crunch does go unshielded, but unfortunately both Avalugg and Deoxys are very tanky Pokemon, so the Crunch really didn't do that much damage. We're going to go for a Leaf Blade here up against the Deoxys. We're going to see if the Deoxys goes for a shield, and they do, so they don't want to see this Sceptile up against whatever is in the back, but they're not able to get to another charge move. We take them out with the Sceptile, and they've got a Jellicent in the back, so it makes sense why they wanted to protect that Deoxys there. We go for a Leaf Blade here, we're 2 away, and the opponent over farms there, underestimating the Sceptile's energy. We go for the second Leaf Blade, and Leaf Blade takes out the Jellicent, and we're able to take that first game there. So GG's to that opponent there. Very nice play by Justice for Xerneas here. Into the next game we lead into an Obstagoon, not very good lead, and we're going to save swap into the Sceptile here, go for a Leaf Blade. That does a nice amount of damage. They're going to farm up a ton of energy before switching into a Cresselia, and Cresselia is just going to be able to take a ton of these Leaf Blades like it's nothing. We're going to let this charge move go through from the Cresselia. It's a Moonblast, it's not quite enough to take us out. We go for a Leaf Blade straight away. Perhaps it would have been better to go for a Bullet Seed first, but we're still able to get to another Leaf Blade here, so it probably won't cost us too much here. And this next Leaf Blade barely doesn't do enough to take them out, and instead of getting farmed down, we're going to swap back into the Avalugg. The switch clocks are quite significantly misaligned here, so that's what makes sense, not giving Cresselia any unnecessary farm. We're going to go for a Body Slam here. This Obstagoon is just going to offload a ton of energy here into the Avalugg. The first Cross Chop goes through, the second one is going to come through, and we're going to no shield this one as well. Cross Chop does take out the Avalugg. We're putting it all on the Toucannon here, and we are now going to shield up against this Obstagoon here. Night Slash gets the first shield. We're going for the Drill Peck. Are they going to shield the Obstagoon? Yes, they are. Whatever is in the back doesn't look like they want to see the Toucannon. We tried to catch a move there, and it looks like the opponent had the same idea, and they swap into a Gengar. We do have that normal typing, so we are double resisting the Shadow Claws. They're not able to get to any sort of charge move that would deal damage, and we're able to take out the Gengar here. We're actually going to no shield this move up against the Obstagoon here, and we should be able to get to another Drill Peck, and from this range, Drill Peck is going to be able to take out the Obstagoon there, and we're able to take that game. So a very nice game 2 there as well. Into the next game we see Empoleon. This is a big problem for the team. We're actually going to swap into Toucannon. The Empoleon was running Metal Claw instead of the Waterfall, so that is something to take note of here. They swap into an Obstagoon. We've seen this matchup like 3 times already, so they're going to go for a Night Slash here. We're going to go for a Drill Peck, and Drill Peck Not going to do that much damage to the Obstagoon, but we should hopefully be able to get to one more Drill Peck before they can farm us down, and that is perfect. And this should be getting a shield from the Obstagoon, and it does, which is nice. And here we're just going to come in with the Avalugg and tank this energy. Avalugg is quite a bulky Pokemon. Night Slash doesn't do an awful lot of damage. They're going to go for one more Night Slash, and then we should be able to Ice Fang, farm them down, and we are able to. We're going to swap straight away into the Sceptile. They're already at a charge move here. We will shield this up. It could be a Drill Peck, but it's just a Hydro Cannon. They're going to come in with Clefable, and they're actually running Charge Beam instead of Charm. So that is extremely fortunate for us because we do actually resist the electric type damage from the grass typing here, so that is really nice. We're going to shield up this charge move here, and Meteor Mash would have done huge damage to us. We're going to overfarm here, go for the Dragon Claw for some reason. I'm not really sure why that is, but I think from that range it's going to take them out, and we're able to swap and catch the charge move here onto the Avalugg. That is pretty insane because who the heck knows the counts for charge beam, so that was crazy. We're going to go for a Leaf Blade here. Leaf Blade, first one, not quite going to be able to take them out. Can we get to another Leaf Blade? No, they get to the charge move here, but it's just another Hydro Cannon, so this Empoleon clearly doesn't have Drill Peck. We can go for the Leaf Blade here. Leaf Blade takes out the Empoleon, and we're able to Bullet Seed, farm down the Clefable, and take that game. So very fortunate that the opponent wasn't running the standard movesets on those Pokemon, but that was an extremely insane catch onto the Avalugg there to catch that Meteor Mash. But into the next game here, we're leading into a load of muck. They go for an Acid Spray. That's not ideal because now the Poison Jabs are going to do a ton more damage up against this Avalugg. So we're going to stay in here, and the opponent actually swaps out into a Wall Rain, and we swap into our Toucannon here. That was kind of a tricky situation here because, well, all three of our Pokemon are actually going to struggle massively up against Wall Rain, so we're actually able to get a shield from the Wall Rain though, from this Toucannon, so that's probably the best case scenario. Honestly, Toucannon can't put up much of a fight up against Wall Rain. The Rock Blast really wouldn't have done that much damage, so to get a shield in that scenario is quite nice. And now here we're going for a Leaf Blade on the CMP tie with this Wall Rain, and they do shield it up, so that is nice. We're going to shield here. Hopefully we can get to another Leaf Blade before the Wall Rain gets to a move, but the opponent swaps out into the muck here, but they just go for an Acid Spray, so we're obviously just going to swap back out into the Avalugg. They get to another charge move, but is this just going to be another Acid Spray? Yes, it is. We're going to go for a Crunch here, going to do a little bit more damage than a Body Slam. Can we get to another Crunch here? Unfortunately, we don't get the debuff, and that might be vital because this Crunch isn't going to be enough to take out the Wall Rain. They're able to farm us down, and we didn't leave with a charge move loaded, so they do now have an Icicle Spear. Icicle Spear takes out the Sceptile, and we do lose that game. Into the next game, the opponent has a shiny Lycanroc Midnight form. That is very cool. Very nice shiny there. We're going to tank this Psychic Fangs, and now we're going to swap into the Toucannon there. I like that play. The opponent's going to come in with a Gust shiny Staraptor here. We go for the Rock Blast. It's super effective, but it doesn't really do that much damage considering these are both very attack weighted Pokemon. We're going to go for a second Rock Blast here. We get the first shield from the Staraptor, and they're going for the full farm down, so we're going to get another Rock Blast and another shield. All shields are now down. We get the Ice Fang through here, so if they go for a close combat or a Brave Bird, the Ice Fang will take them out. They come in with a Trevenant here. Are they going to be expecting a Crunch from the Avalugg? No, and that does huge damage. They swap into the Lycanroc. We're going to let this charge move go through from the Lycanroc, sorry. We go for the Leaf Blade straight away, and this will be taking out the Lycanroc. And now it's just a race who can get to the charge move first. We do have a shield, so actually we're going to choose not to shield here. And it is just a Seed Bomb, and even though they've lowered our defense, we're still able to tank a resisted move. Unfortunately, the Dragon Claw doesn't take them out, but the opponent realizes they can't win there, so they do concede the match. Into the next game, we lead into a Swampert, so we're actually going to save swap straight away into the Toucannon. I like this play here, and we actually bait out a Charizard, which is really nice. We're going for the Rock Blast, double super effective damage, but unfortunately, it's not enough to take out a Charizard, which is kind of insane. You don't see that too often. They go for the Blast Burn, we call it, and unfortunately, that does take us out. But honestly, if we'd have shielded there, the Bullet Seeds are double resisted, so we'd have had to keep on throwing charge moves to take out the Charizard there, so they might still be fine for us. And they actually come in with a Trevenant. That is a very odd decision here. We're going for a Crunch. We get a shield from the Trevenant here, and we are going to let this move go through. They do go for the Shadow Ball. That does huge damage. They swap into the Swampert, but we have a great response here in Sceptile. They're going to go for the Earthquake. That would have done big damage, even though it's resisted, so quite a nice shield for us here. We go for the Leaf Blade, we take out the Swampert. We're going to lag a ton here, or maybe we're playing with our food. I'm not really sure what's going on here. We're going to shield up this charge move. Hopefully we do start throwing our own charge moves here. We go for the first Dragon Claw here. This should be getting the final shield from the Trevenant. We're able to get to another Dragon Claw. Is this going to be enough to take out the Trevenant? No, of course it's not. We're going to swap into the Avalugg, force them to throw their energy, and now it's another race. Can we get to the move before the Trevenant? We actually get there on a CMP tie. Sceptile wins the CMP tie, and we're able to take that game. So that lag, or us messing around there, really made that game closer than it needed to be, but we're still able to take it. Into the next game, we lead into a Cresselia. Now we've got a super effective Crunch as our charge move, but we're not awfully spammy, and Crunch from a bulky Pokemon, non-stab, isn't really going to do that much damage to this Cresselia, so we're going to go for the Crunch here. They let it go through, and we barely get them into the yellow health. They come in with a Snorlax. I'd have liked to see us swap straight away into the Toucannon. Because of that normal typing, it does double resist the licks, but instead we go for a Crunch on a CMP tie. We're calling the Body Slam, and that is just a Body Slam, so we do tank it. We're now coming in with the Toucannon, gonna let this first move go through. It is another Body Slam that already takes us into the yellow health, despite these double resisted licks. That's pretty insane. We go for a Drill Peck, it takes out the Snorlax, and we're gonna see what the opponent comes in with now. They're gonna come in with Obstagoon once again. So we go for the Drill Peck here. It does about 35% damage to the Obstagoon, not an awful lot. They go for a Night Slash, it takes us out. We're keeping 2 shields for the Sceptile. What I've noticed about this trainer is they do like to save shields for the end game. We go for a Leaf Blade here, we get a shield, and we perfectly catch on the Avalugg there. Very nice play. Night Slash takes out the Avalugg here. We're going to go for the Leaf Blade here up against this Obstagoon. Can this take out the Obstagoon? No, it's not enough, and they do get to another charge move, so that is unfortunate. And we're actually going to shield up this Night Slash. I'm not sure if that's the right play here, because Cresselia probably does slightly more damage with their charge moves, as they do require a lot more energy to get to. We're going to shield the first one, and it's just a Grass Knot bait. Oh, that feels awful. We're now going for a Dragon Claw. Another thing this trainer likes to do is throw the Dragon Claw when the opponent is really low on health. I'm not sure if they think it's cheaper energy or if they're just BMing or whatever, but unfortunately Cresselia gets to a Moonblast and they take us out. Into the next game here, we lead into a Trevenant. They're going to swap into a Drapion, so we're actually just going to stay in, and I like this play here. We go for a Body Slam, and it actually gets shielded by the Drapion. So I think what we need to do here is maintain switch advantage, because Toucannon is an absolute wall to the Trevenant because of that normal and flying typing. They go for a Crunch here. We're now going for a Body Slam, and they do let the second one go through, so we can now safely shield here. The Ice Fang goes through, so they will be KO'd, even if they have another charge move loaded, which they don't. Now they're coming back in with the Trevenant. We can go for the Crunch. Are they going to respect the damage from Crunch? No, they don't, and the Trevenant is already extremely low. They're going to come in with Regirock. We swap into the Sceptile, and unfortunately for that opponent there, we had our backline to counter theirs, and we take that game. Now into the next game, we lead into a Giratina. They're going to save swap into Swampert. We're able to get to a Leaf Blade before the Swampert can even throw a charge move. Leaf Blade takes out the Swampert. The opponent is going to wait out the switch clock. No, they're just going to concede the match, and we're able to take that game. And into the next game here, we lead into another Empoleon. So we're going to swap into the Toucannon here. This time they are actually wanting Waterfall, so it's going to be a lot tougher because Waterfall does do a lot more damage than Metal Claw. And the opponent overfarms, and now it's a CMP tie. We're going for the Drill Peck here, and Drill Peck does get the Empoleon into the yellow, very close to the red health already. We're just going to let this move go through. That's a best case scenario, but they do actually get one more Waterfall through, so not the best. They do get a little bit of extra energy, and we're going for a Dragon Claw once again. I'm so confused by this play, but that is fine. It's a CMP tie and they do shield it up. Honestly, if they no shielded there, that might have been quite disastrous, because I'm not sure a Dragon Claw would have taken them out from that range, but from this range, this should be enough to take out the Empoleon. But once again, they shield, so I think we're going to double shield here, and we should be able to fully farm down this Empoleon, but they're going to swap into an Escavalier, and yeah, this is another core breaker for the team. Even the Toucannon doesn't have the best matchup here, because Bullet Seeds are double resisted. We're going for a Crunch. Crunch doesn't get the debuff. They're able to fully farm us down after going for an Acid Spray. And yeah, it's not looking good for us. They're probably going to go for another Acid Spray here. We're going to go for a Dragon Claw. Is this enough to take out the Escavalier? No, it is not, and they're able to get to another Acid Spray here. An Acid Spray will be enough to take out the Sceptile and take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know what you think about me shoutcasting battles from leagues that currently aren't available. Would you like to see more of this in the future, or would you like to see me sticking to the current leagues available? Let me know in the comment section below. But overall, I had a ton of fun commentating over these battles. I think Avalugg really holds the team together. It acts as a damage sponge, and it just allows you to save shields for the Toucannon or the Sceptile. As for the Toucannon, I think it's quite underwhelming. I think the one thing you want from a glass cannon is for them to hit extremely hard, and Toucannon just doesn't do that. Bullet Seeds obviously non-stab, and Drill Peck it's just not that threatening, and Rock Blast is an awful move. You saw it wasn't even able to take out a Charizard, which is a already very glassy Pokemon, and it's 2 times super effective damage. So yeah, a bit underwhelming. I think Toucannon really just needs a strong, hard-hitting nuke charge move to be so much more threatening. And then Sceptile, actually a pretty strong Pokemon. Bullet Seed and Leaf Blade together, stab. It's a really good strong combination, and then Dragon Claw is a nice coverage move for like the Giratinas, but overall a very fun team. So if you did enjoy today's video, then make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications, and that way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And with that being said, let's get into the shoutouts from my previous video. So firstly, we got Totally Not Arthur, who says Great League Remix was so awesome of a format instead of the open Great League where haunted trees and spiky bear traps run around. And honestly, I really do enjoy the Great League Remix, and I think it would be quite interesting instead of having it in like the earlier weeks of the season, to have it right at the end of the season and then banning the top 20 Pokemon that were used in the open Great League that season. I think that would be a really awesome way to end the season. Next we got Thomas E, who says Master League Premier for me, only because of non-XL Pokemon, and it's open for some spicy Pokemon that can be used, and I couldn't agree more. I'm not sure why they've completely gotten rid of the Master Premier Cup, since they do actually have the Premier Classic Cup, which I think is really awesome. But yeah, the Master League Premier Cup should definitely return, and it would be a great way to end the season. And finally we got Scrubtar, who says definitely would be the Kanto Cup. I feel like it is a fun meta, minus the Nidoqueen, Lickitung, Chansey team, and also Retro Cup has a really fun meta as well. Now I've got to be honest, we've had the Kanto Cup so many times that it's gotten a little bit stale for me, but we do see like more regional variants of Pokemon being added to the meta, shaking up just a little bit, and we've had move updates a few times recently that would make it a little bit more interesting. But I can't lie, I'm not super keen on the Kanto Cup returning, but I do really enjoy the Retro Cup, so that would have been a nice meta to end the season on, in my opinion. So with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.